Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to Man vs Film. It's March already and I have 10 fantastic movies for you to check out on Netflix UK this month. So let's get started with number 10. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. A growing nation of genetically evolved apes led by Caesar is threatened by a band of human survivors of the devastating virus unleashed a decade earlier. They reach fragile peace, but it proves short-lived as both sides are brought to the brink of war, which will determine who will emerge as Earth's dominant species. The Planet of the Apes trilogy that recently came out is fantastic from start to finish. They're really tremendous movies. Dawn, the second part, is my favourite. It is one where they really took the CGI and created a character out of it, someone that you could really put your mind with as he goes through his journey, and that is a primarily CGI Caesar at the heart of these movies. Yet you know that character, you can understand the way he is thinking and the motivations behind it. Now the special effects are fantastic, but there is an emotional resonance to this story that drives it forward and really makes it as entertaining as it possibly can be. And if that wasn't enough, there is several outstanding action set pieces throughout this movie that just wow you every time you watch it. Fantastic film. Number 9, Blow. The story of George Young, along with the Medellin cartel headed by Pablo Escobar, established the American cocaine market in the 1970s in the United States. Blow is one of those movies that I've watched once and it had an effect on me. It stuck with me. Johnny Depp really imbues this character of George with a lot of sadness and just self-deprecation throughout it. He has extreme highs that are then followed by extreme lows by what he is doing, but you get an insight into this character. You empathise with this character, and at the end you are willing him to make the right choices. Whether that happens or not, you want him to be the best version of himself. The fact that it's true is all the more shocking. A terrific movie. Number 8, The Monster. A divorced mother and her headstrong daughter must make an emergency late-night road trip to see the girl's father. As they drive through the deserted country roads on a stormy night, they suddenly have a startling collision that leaves them shaken, but not seriously hurt. Their car is dead, and as they try in vain to get help, they realise they are not alone. A terrifying evil is lurking in the woods. Zoe Kazan stars as the mother in this movie, and it is fantastic. It is a monster movie. It's in the title. There is something there that is going to eat them, destroy them, kill them, if it can get his nasty, slimy claws onto them. But at the heart of this movie is a relationship drama between the mother and the daughter, something that is constantly changing and repurposing all the way through the movie, throughout flashbacks. And these flashbacks are terrifically set up because it gives you one idea of this relationship and then evolves it throughout time in the movie to the ultimate end. This is one of those movies that just kind of eked by. Nobody heard about it. Nobody talks about it. Time to check it out. Number 7, Keanu. Rael is an ordinary man living an ordinary life until a kitten is dropped on his front porch, and he doesn't know that his life is going to change. Soon his kitten Keanu is abducted by gangsters, and him and his cousin Clarence go out on an ultimate adventure to get Keanu back. This is one of those off-the-walls, ridiculously good comedic movies that you'll probably just flick by because the poster's not great, because the synopsis isn't terrific. It is weird, it is wacky, it has Keanu Reeves as the kitten just making meowing sounds. It is absolutely ridiculous, but it is driven forward by the two leads who give terrific performances in this fantastic meld of ridiculous comedy and pretty good action set pieces as well. I've got a soft spot for Keanu. I think it's pretty interesting, pretty unique, pretty fun. Number 6, 47 metres down. Two sisters are exploring the deep blue sea until something goes wrong. As they submerge 47 metres, they encounter a creature that only wants flesh and blood. As they fight their way back to the top, they shortly run out of oxygen. With only 1 hour left, they are not only racing against time, They are racing against life and death. 47 metres down, it's exactly what you think it's going to be. You know, two divers trapped in a cage with man-eating sharks all around them. But it works. It's pretty tense. It's exciting. It has moments of surprise, shock and terror. It's never going to get anything above that B-movie kind of range. But sometimes that's fine. Sometimes that is all you need, and this delivers the B-movie goodness that you possibly want one evening. You don't have to think too much, you just have to put down the lights, turn up the volume and enjoy what is a fairly decent shark movie. Number 5, The Night Eats the World. After waking up in an apartment where only the night before a party was raging, Sam is forced to come to grips with reality. He is now alone and the living dead have invaded the streets of Paris. Petrified with fear, Sam is going to have to barricade himself inside the building, organise his survival. But is he really the only sole survivor? This is one of those Netflix movies that I almost went by, and I'm glad I stopped at it. I do like zombie movies, but they are becoming rather familiar, rather tropey, and it's hard to find something that breaks the mould. The Night Eats the World is something that does do that. We have our survivor, who is primarily the only character there for the entire movie, and you just slowly see how the isolation starts to affect him, how he tries to keep himself alert, how he tries to keep himself sane, and it's fun and enjoyable. There is good moments in this where you really get inside the headspace of the character as he just tries to pass time without going further into insanity. It's a fun movie. It does have its fair share of zombie action. It's really well shot and it's an interesting take on a zombie movie. Number 4, Get Out. Chris and his girlfriend Rose go upstate to visit their parents for the weekend. At first, Chris reads the family's overly accommodating behaviour as nervous attempts to deal with their daughter's interracial relationship. But as the weekend progresses, a series of increasingly disturbing discoveries lead him to a truth he could never have imagined. If you haven't heard of Get Out, or if you haven't watched it, now is definitely the time to check it out. It made such a big splash because it's fantastic. It has a terrific horror movie story at the heart of this, and it does have some social commentary as well. But it's all about the characters and how well they are portrayed on screen as every actor brings their A-game to this terrifically layered story that leaves you guessing where it's going to go, that leaves you excited, tense and filled with suspense with what's possibly going to happen during it. I have a lot of time for Get Out. I think it's really fantastic, one of the better horror movies of recent years, and if for some reason you haven't checked it out, get onto it as soon as you can. Number 3, What Keeps You Alive. A young, newlywed lesbian couple go to an idyllic remote forest cabin to spend some quality time together. Unfortunately, one of them turns out to be an emotionless sociopath and sadistic serial killer who plans to hunt her emotional new wife down and brutally torture her to death, both physically and mentally, just like she did with her first wife. I really liked the director's last movie, It Stains the Sands Red, and I was curious about what they were going to do next. And again, it's a low budget movie with only a few actors in an isolated location. But it is terrific. It has horrific moments of violence, it has shocking moments, it has interesting character moments as you realise not everything is entirely what you thought it was at the start of the movie. It goes places I did not expect. Every time I thought, aha, I know what's happening next, it would take a sharp turn and throw me off the path that I was on, which was reinvigorating watching the movie. Number 2, High Flying Bird. A sports agent pitches a rookie basketball client on an intriguing and controversial business opportunity during a lockout. Steven Soderbergh is back with his iPhone, making movies yet again with a fantastic cast and a really intricate storyline here that gets by on its sparkling dialogue and its charismatic characters at the heart of it. This is a kind of heist movie, although you don't know that's what it is going into it. It is all about a person put in a situation that has to play several people off against each other to get everything back to the status quo, which is what our main character does, and does it in a fantastic fashion. I really enjoyed High Flying Bird. and it's highly recommended. Number 1. Velvet Buzzsaw. After paintings by an unknown artist are discovered, a supernatural force enacts revenge on those who have allowed their greed to get in the way of art. Dan Gilroy's follow-up to Nightcrawler also stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Rene Russo and a host of other fantastic actors in this movie that I absolutely adore. Now, there's a lot of kickback about Velvet Buzzsaw. People tend to hate it. I, for one, absolutely adore the movie. I think it is layered. I think it is shot spectacularly well. I feel it has characters that I like spending time with, even though I don't like some of the choices that they make, which is a hard thing to accomplish, but it does that with aplomb. And it has these terrific scenes of paintings almost coming alive. It has a terrific mood and atmosphere with it, along with great performances. Gyllenhaal is again proving that he is one of this generation's best talents. And this is a story that I found captivating and enjoyable, and I loved spending time in this world of art critics who really dealt with the artists as a kind of byproduct. They were more interested in what their opinion made the art to become. It was fun, it's very entertaining, very well done, and it is my movie of the month. So there we have it, 10 movies to keep you busy during the month of March. I would love to know your opinion on this list, if there's anything I've missed out, if there's anything I should add. Let me know in the comment box below if you have any suggestions, things that I should check out or that other viewers should. I'd really appreciate that. That's fantastic. And also, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to make sure that you get this list first as soon as it appears. And I'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.